The engineering spaces of HMS Waveney are a symphony of sound. Her two huge boiler rooms are dominated by the low roar of the oil fires within. Screaming over the top of that is the high-pitched whistle of steam past the boiler isolation valves. At full power, each boiler needs one burner cleaned every 15 minutes. The carbon buildup on these burners from burning oil obstructs the ultrafine channels of the burner nozzle, preventing the fuel oil from atomizing and burning properly. A fireman pulls one of the burners from the number 2 boiler, and he diligently begins scrubbing off the carbon buildup with a soft brass wire brush. Many other firemen within the engine room are busy with similar tasks, cleaning, monitoring, and maintaining the fires within. The boiler rooms are not the hottest spaces within this ship, though, despite the fires within. The enormous mass of air used by the boilers must be replaced, sucking fresh air into the space at a fantastic rate. No, that dubious honor of hottest space on the ship goes to the 2 engine rooms further aft. This far from the boilers, the flow of steam stabilizes to a steady whoosh. The high-pitched howl of the ship's turbo generators, spinning at 7,200 RPM, couples with the harmonic frequency of the 60 Hz buzz of the electricity that they generate. Further aft, the slower spinning main engines emit a more middling whine. A mechanic walks around the reduction gears, monitoring bearing temperatures and lube oil flow, and even paying attention to the subsonic rumble of the reduction gears and shafts. Down below in the condenser bays, the steady whoosh of exhaust steam into the condensers is broken up by the rhythmic chug-chug of reciprocating feed pumps. In the outboard of each condenser bay, a pair of air ejectors scream their fury as they accelerate 150 psi auxiliary steam to supersonic speeds in order to draw vacuum on the main condensers, significantly improving their efficiency and power output of the main engines. Our tour of HMS Waveney's engineering spaces would continue forward to the machinery rooms with their fuel pumps and preheaters, desalination systems, and other support equipment. But it is interrupted by a thunderous explosion on the port side. A 12-foot hole is torn in the ship's side and a wall of water rushes in. Several sailors are swept off their feet by the in-rushing water and are washed deeper into the space. Those who can evacuate through the watertight hatch flee to the boiler room. They shut the hatch as water starts to pour over the bottom of the doorframe. Unfortunately, it is bowed from the torpedo damage and cannot seal properly. As the water level on the other side rises, a steady stream pours down from the damaged hatch. DC men race aft with wooden braces, toolkits, and pumps. It will be a long time before the Waveney is properly safe again. Hello there, and welcome aboard another episode of Rule the Waves 2. I'm Katori87, and we are currently in desperate battle against Germany. And a number of our destroyers have run into misfortune with mines, torpedoes, and other underwater explosions. HMS Waveney herself is only one of 4 ships that have been damaged so far. But overall, it's a fairly minor result in comparison to the damage that we have inflicted upon Germany so far, and what we hope to inflict at the end of this battle. Our airstrikes have also done some damage, and we currently have 3 enemy cruisers cornered under the guns of our largest battleships. So, with that in mind, let's actually start taking a look at what's going on. To the south, we've had a number of skirmishes with our destroyers chasing after their cruisers and destroyers. We have sunk a couple of their couple of their destroyers already. Wow, I cannot speak today. Yeah, we've sunk a couple of their destroyers so far, but we're hoping for a much more decisive result. The Waveney herself is slowly getting the damage under control from either a mine or torpedo or who knows what. But we also suspect there to be a submarine operating in this general area. It has damaged both the Cockatrice and the Morris, and both of those ships are heading home. And we do suspect that the ships to the north, these V-44 classes, and maybe some of the Colnes as well, have fired torpedoes in our general direction. The Ernie is our most recent victim. So with that in mind, It's time for us to start taking some evasive action and also start lining up for the chase. So we're going to order the battle division to turn together in line abreast, and we are going to turn away and to the south. And we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully we don't have any of our major ships torpedoed. There we go. Do we want to pick up survivors? I thought we already did, but sure, it's just a destroyer. We can afford that. Alright, continuing on. Our turn continues, and now we should be paralleling those cruisers at a decent distance. Oh man, look at all those torpedoes. Oh, and it looks like we have our first loss of the day. The destroyer Cockatrice is sinking. Well, that is unfortunate. I guess she was not able to get that sustained flooding under control. And that is unfortunate since it's one of our modern Waveney class destroyers. But if they're going to be on the front lines, that is always a risk that we must accept. Ooh, and it looks like some of our airstrikes have found a target. 13 Vickers Martlet are approaching enemy ships. Let's see what we've got. Okay, 4 torpedo bombers are bombing enemy AMC, or transport, or who knows what. Oh, and there we go. We've got a hit. And they're going after the same AMC. I'm pretty sure that AMC or transport or whatever it is pretty well doomed. 1, 2, 2 more torpedo hits, so that's 3 so far. And here we go. Finally, they're targeting a enemy carrier. Oh, 1 hit. So at least we're doing damage to their carriers. And I think that was about it for that strike. Here's hoping these other 2 strikes start finding them as well. Although it looks like they're heading back. Did they miss or something? I don't know. Alright, we're going to continue firing at these cruisers, and hopefully we'll be able to maintain the engagement there. Kind of a risk driving my battleships right through the area where I suspect a submarine is, but hopefully it's currently distracted by all the other ships in the area. What are you guys targeting? Okay, looks like we've got 1 cruiser already slowed down and reporting heavy damage. Let's take a good look at that. Oh yeah, 1 turret destroyed, 1 turret damaged, and she's significantly slowed down. And right next to several of our cruisers, yeah, I'm pretty sure she's doomed. What I really want is to get these other 2 slowed down as well, so we can add those to the tally as well. Hooray! So we're going to select our target, and we're going to remind them to target the lead ships. There we go. Go get them, boys. Oh, I guess they did spot something. 14 Vickers Martlet are approaching enemy ships. Please don't go after the one that's already sinking. Oh, yep. They're going after the one that's already sinking. Great job, guys. You'd better at least hit it. Oh, there we go. At least you hit it. And here goes the next 4, also torpedo bombing the one that's already sinking. Alright, we'll form these guys back up into a proper line. Oh, there we go. Finally going after the right target. I don't even care if they score any hits. That just slowed them down significantly and allowed our forces to catch up. And that's ultimately what I really care about. Now I just need to score some hits. I'm seeing 6-inch gun hits. Let's see if we can get some of our big guns on them. Yeah, Waveney's machinery is repaired. How are you doing? Well, she's still got flooding, but she's capable of making 4 knots. Outstanding. So we're going to take manual control over her. We're going to pick her up to 4 knots. We're going to point her in the general direction of home. And hopefully she'll be able to get that last little trickle of flooding under control before she sinks. How's the rest of these ships doing? How's Morris? She's still got some flooding as well. So we'll drop her down to 4 knots, and hopefully that'll help get that under control. What about the Ernie? Oh. She's actually doing pretty good. I don't want her chasing after the fleet. That could cause bulkhead ruptures, so we're going to detach her and send her back home as well. And there is a fair number of destroyers back that way. How's my cruisers doing? Remarkably well. Why are all 3 of these detached? I don't like that. Alright, Forte is doing just fine. She should be good against those destroyers. Pandora is doing just fine. She also should be... Oh, what happened to her speed? Oh, Pandora got hit in the engine room. Yep, that'll do it. Alright, well, I do think if she can't keep up with the main fleet, we can at least send her around to deal with those destroyers. And I've got other cruisers to chase after the main fleet. How are these guys doing? Doing just fine. Yeah, they should be fine. We'll send these 3 cruisers to deal with those destroyers. So we'll turn all of those... Well, we'll mostly just turn them west. Sorry, east. I know my directions. Okay, I'm definitely seeing some of the big guns get fired at the enemy cruisers. I'm just not seeing any hits. So what's going on with that? What are our hit chances? Let's see. Okay. So range 16,500 yards. So yeah, that's pretty long range. I concur. Target size -10. Yeah. It is a light cruiser after all, so that makes sense. Firing ship high speed vibration. That's interesting. I would not expect that from an 80,000 ton ship. Target evading, 2 ships firing at same target. Yeah, that does make sense. Okay. What about the Rodney and the Collingwood? How are they doing? Huh. So they're also suffering from high-speed vibration. I would not expect that from ships this big. So I suppose I could slow them down. How fast are these guys going? 20 knots? 25 knots? Yeah. What's the range on our 5-inch guns? Oh, no wonder why we're not scoring anything significant. We're outside of range of our secondaries, so we need to get closer. Alright, well, we'll see about getting closer. Everything's going down south, looking good, still closing in. Looks like we've got some good gunfire on these destroyers, that's good. Colne has sunk. So, good riddance there. What about our airstrikes? Do we have anything available there? Looks like all of our torpedo bombers have gotten back. Or at least a strike of our torpedo bombers has gotten back, so we can actually start readying those up. Martlets, gauntlets, and more martlets. And all of those will be with torpedoes. Let's ready them up. We're going to send one more strike into the vicinity of Helgoland and see if we can get that carrier, whatever it was. I know we scored one hit on it, and I want to see that thing down. Alright, what's our range right now? 10,000? Okay, that means we should be close enough for the secondaries to start opening up. And actually, what are they doing? They just turned back north. Why would they turn back north? Okay, we got some sort of shore battery down here. At least I'm pretty sure that's a shore battery. I don't want to get too close to that. Yes, my ships are battleships with absolutely ridiculous armor, but I'd rather not take any risks I don't have to take. And these destroyers are also starting to look like a potential threat. So let's start turning these cruisers around as well. See if we can get our broadsides on them. Oh, 15 Vickers Martlets approaching enemy ships. Where are they at? Oh, what's this? Going after a V3 class destroyer. Yeah, there it is. Unloading their full fury into a single destroyer. Well, fair enough. If there's not much else left around, then I guess that's what we'll have to deal with. No hits. No hits. And nothing else. Alright, but it does look like our secondaries are starting to take their toll on that cruiser. Yep, there we go. Cruiser is stopped and on fire. And now I can focus our fire on that other Colne class. How are things going up north? Looks okay. Yep, primaries and secondaries split. Looks good. Primaries and secondaries split. Why are they all focused on that lead V44? That's not a good plan. Let's shift that around a little bit. Actually, yeah, we'll leave the two lead ships on that, and then the Pandora can target the tailing ship. There we go. That should do the trick. And let's actually turn away just a little bit. There we go. Just to make sure we don't expose ourselves to torpedo shots. Oh. And we did get a torpedo hit on one of those destroyers, so this guy is almost certainly out of the fight. Alright. Quick double check on our other destroyers. Looks like they're still having slow leaking. Well, I do hope they're able to get that under control. I would be very annoyed if I lost 4 destroyers to single minor torpedo hits, especially when the AI never runs into those things. Oh, we got another torpedo hit here. So that is the second of 4 destroyers torpedo. That's good. Let's turn ourselves around and start chasing that thing again. Oh, and we just scored a 17-inch hit on the cone. I'm very curious to see what kind of damage these major guns are doing. Yep, and she stopped. And here comes the sunset. Alright, I think we can start turning away and heading home. So we're actually going to go stand down all of these strikes that we have. That way we don't have any more fueled and bombed up and ready to go aircraft waiting on deck. Okay, we're going to try for a few more shots at these things. Oh, poor torpedoes. I don't think that's going to hit. And here comes that true night. What is that S-15 doing? I do not like that. Okay, we can at least start putting that guy back on AI control. Okay, we'll reduce our speed to 20 knots. It's just so that we're not blitzing around at flank speed. Lost sight of them. So back to AI control. And it is time for us to get out of here. Alright, we'll pick up the pace. And we have an unknown ship sighted. Where? Okay. Well, there's not a whole lot I can do with the Lydiard because she's apparently lost contact. But the Aeolus can do stuff. So let's pick up her speed. And nope, she's gone. Whatever it was, it is not my concern anymore. Another ship in the dark. I don't like that. Hang on. That thing is not moving fast. So let's see if we can get closer and take a look. There we go. Get that excellent fire control to work. We'll just sling a whole bunch of 4-inch shells at them. You know, it's funny. We'll spend 5 minutes firing at the thing, and then all of a sudden they're like, I have no idea if this is friendly or foe, so we should hold fire. Ah, Corvette. That is now sunk. Okay. Job's done. Back to AI control. Let's get home. Oh, and we've got another one. Alright, Pandora, it's your turn. I do wish they would give us useful information such as what the moon is doing and where it is, because that definitely does affect spotting and perception. So I have no idea if they can see me, but I cannot see them, because that is definitely a thing that happens. Alright, well, I guess they're gone, so we'll put that back on AI control and continue our retreat. Alright, we'll go back to AI control and we'll just try and cruise out of enemy airstrike range. Just in case, you know. Alright, and there we go, scenario is over. And we successfully escaped with only one destroyer lost. Very good. And we got 3 cruisers sunk and 5 destroyers, 1 corvette and 1 transport. Okay. How did our aircraft do? We had a fair number of operational losses. So that wasn't so good. Alright, well, we'll have to take a look at the more detailed results. Okay, first of all, ship details, because we had some interesting stuff to look at there. Alright. Cruisers. The Emden took 10 heavy hits. I'm curious how those worked. Okay, near miss, hull hit, belt penetrated. Okay. Well, that did quite a bit of damage there. Yep, limits flooding, detaches because of heavy flooding, flooding, outstanding. And then we get close enough to start getting some 5-inch guns in there. And that's what started slowing them down. Okay, here we had a superstructure pass-through hit, so that's not so good. So, 5-inch torpedo tube hit. Hull hit, belt extended from a 16-inch. But that did penetrate and explode, so hooray. So it looks like our AP's shells are still capable of detonating when they're going after light cruisers. And we've got a 17-inch fore and aft hull hit. That gives them some flooding. Superstructure pass-through hit. Oh, here we go. Yep. So superstructure pass-through hit, so that didn't do a whole lot. It did knock out their secondaries, but not a whole lot of overall damage due to the pass-through nature of the hit. 5-inch guns doing some high explosive damage. Another 5-inch high explosive. 16-inch secondary battery. They did launch torpedoes, but fortunately we didn't get any hits. And we get another 16-inch belt extended hit. And then that decides it right there. Already sinking. And then we're able to score a bunch more hits. Alright. So, interesting observation. We definitely gave up a little bit of significant range with our secondaries. And those secondaries are a very decisive factor against smaller craft like these light cruisers. So that is a significant sacrifice that we made to get those 5-inch secondaries. We have to get closer than I would otherwise like. Let's see, how do we do against the Magdeburg? She only took 8 heavy hits, so not as many. Oh, she launched torpedoes at the Juggernaut. Yeah, mostly small caliber stuff. We had 1 near miss. 2 near misses. But overall, not a whole lot until we got to close range. Another near miss. Secondary battery hit. Hull hit, belt extended. Near miss. Yeah, that's a lot of near misses. There we go. Hull hit, belt penetrated. That did some damage. Near miss. Turret destroyed, belt extended, belt. Yeah. So once we did start properly hitting and not just scoring near misses, we were able to take them down pretty quickly. Then we have the Augsburg. Only 5 heavy hits. 40 medium. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, 6-inch superstructure hit. Splinters in the uptake. So she was the one that lagged behind, I do believe. Yeah, that's the one with the rear turret knocked out. More splinters in the uptakes. Okay. Oh, yeah. Alright, so we did score some critical damage, but it was mostly, in this case, the smaller guns that did most of the decisive damage. I mean, well, not quite. We did get a 17-inch shell right into her engine room. So that's pretty bad news. But, yeah, for the most part, it looks like it was the smaller caliber stuff that was firing faster that proved more decisive. So I think that's more of an argument in favor of the cruisers. More smaller guns in the intermediate ranges. Alright, so Cockatrice, she did suffer a mine? I still don't think that was a mine. I find that hard to believe. And then she took a lot of flooding damage from that immediately and sank out due to uncontrolled flooding. Okay. How is it that my light cruiser with light damage took more damage than my destroyer? Alright, Pioneer took a 130-pound bomb hit, penetrated the deck. Which, well, that was a level bombing, probably from a significant altitude, which explains their poor accuracy. But when you drop a bomb from that high up, it has a lot of time to pick up velocity and penetrate. So, yeah, that is also definitely an argument in favor of more deck armor. So these Pandoras have been serving pretty well, but they don't have quite enough deck armor for continued service well into the future. So that is another lesson I'm going to have to keep in mind for future designs. More deck armor on my cruisers to protect against bombs. Okay. And Waveney did successfully escape. Barely. I don't think she ever properly got that flooding fully oh, no. She did get the flooding fully stopped. Hooray! Let's see. Anything else significant in here? Ernie got everything under control. Yeah, it looks like all these destroyers got everything under control. Leviathan took 2 light hits. No damage. Rodney, 3 medium hits, no damage. Oh yeah, good stuff. Alright, quick review of the air details as well. So I know our carriers actually took a hit, if I remember correctly. So let's see how that did. Okay, so these guys scored 5 bomb hits, hooray. 3 bomb hits and 2 bomb hits, so that's so they actually did a fair bit with those bombs. That was a total of 10 bomb hits. Oh, not bad. And then we had 3 torpedo hits for this squadron, 3 torpedo hits for that squadron. Total of 6, not great. But hey, every little bit counts. And then losses. Let's see, OP is operational losses, and then LB. Did we have any LB? I thought one of our aircraft got hit. Yeah, here we go. The Impermeable did take 1 bomb hit. Okay, so that was the impermeable. Let's take a look at the impermeable's air wing. Huh. I don't actually... Wait. One kill. Oh, we got an air-to-air kill. Hooray. And one fighter lost, 2 torpedo bombers lost, but those are all counted as operational. Then we had 1 total loss for the 2605 squadron here, but I'm not seeing what type of loss it was, so maybe that was the one that we lost due to the bomb hit? It should technically be counted as an LB, lost on base, on ground or on ship, but I'm not seeing that listed. Oh well. Okay, so we didn't actually lose all that much aircraft due to that strike. And overall, it didn't appear to do too much damage. And it did hit the flight deck and it penetrated, so maybe some flight deck armor would be useful on future builds. I will have to keep that in mind when we build something new. But we'll worry about that later. For now, let's wrap this battle up. Hey, major victory, gain 1 prestige, outstanding. Yeah, Battle of Helgoland Bight. Sure, I'm fine with that name. Renown has condenser trouble. Our scientists report they are well on their way to understanding heavier depth charges. Didn't they report that last turn? Oh good, our new float plane scout, the Supermarine Spitfire, is ready for operational service. Man, Germany's doing a lot with those mines. We had 4 destroyers damaged by mines, one of which was lost, and there goes another one to a mine event. And it looks like their raiders were fairly effective this turn. Most of which are still in Northern Europe. Oh well. We're maintaining the blockade, so that's good. They're definitely getting crushed. Our invasion of Bismarck Archipelago is, or at least planning for the Bismarck Archipelago invasion is moving forward. Let's see. Yep, we've got the ships in the area, so that's good. Anything else over here? Not really. Germany has 1 heavy cruiser here, and I've got my battle cruiser there. Here's hoping for that event. I thought they had a battle cruiser, though. Huh. Nope, no idea. Okay, quick review. How's our construction going? The Behemoth is continuing under its construction just fine. We've got new corvettes under construction to try and, or specifically minesweepers under construction to try and deal with the mine threat. And our new line of Wavenese is coming right along, so that's good. I'm so happy with those ships. They've proven quite robust so far. Much more survivable than any other class that I've had. Alright, anything else? All these red poles are not accomplishing a whole lot. Actually, now that our Jeds are all obsolete, and our Derwents are starting to go obsolete, maybe we could convert some of these. I do need to get some trade protection stuff. So let's take all of these red poles. We'll put those on trade protection. So at least they'll be out and about doing something. And then we've got some Jeds. All of these need to get refit. So let's see what we can do with that. So they've got a decent ASW rating of 6. It's not terrible. Is there anything we can do to bump that up? They're only 600 tons, so we can't put any more K-guns on. We can't do increased... We've already done increased depth charge swords, so there's not a whole lot else we really can do. Yep, we already did increased elevation. I'm not throwing on dual purpose because that costs money. Alright, I think we'll do this. We'll just do a quick... in the yards and out. Paint and polish and moving right along. Call it a condenser cleaning and hull careening and should be good. Alright, so those guys are going in for refits. We've got the red poles assigned to take their place. And I think we should also do the same thing with the Stowers. So we'll put those on trade protection too, just to make sure our total number of hulls on trade protection doesn't change. Alright, and we'll have to do something with the Derwents as well. I might actually convert those into minesweepers, since they have such a low value of ASW. So if I convert those into minesweepers, then we'll have additional protection there. Alright, anything else here? Yep. Not a whole lot else to do here. Our invasion is already planned. Movement orders have already been issued. Hopefully we're able to get the next invasion off. It's December, so probably not the best weather for invasion. But hey, we'll just keep on moving forward. And if we can take the Bismarck Archipelago, that should put us in range of the Caroline Islands as well. So we'll just march around and take everything of Germany from the Asian theaters. Alright, moving on. Ooh, fleet-sized enemy raid on merchant shipping. Oh, and it's right down in the English Channel, well within range of my land-based aircraft. I gotta take that. Oh my goodness, it's spawning. Oh boy, here we go. Wow, this is quite the lineup. We've got battle cruisers. Oh boy. Juggernaut and Leviathan at sea. Groups of battle cruisers. What do we have further south? We've got some heavy cruisers. It's an unusual formation for a home fleet. But sure, we'll take it. I'm confident that the Juggernaut and Leviathan will do their job just fine. And, oh boy, we have our CVLs as well as our CVs at sea. Haha, the entire splendid class at sea. Oh, this is going to be fun. But would you look at the time? It's 45 minutes. We'll have to call this episode to a close here, and we'll fight this battle next time. Until then, Katori87 signing out.